Hi Akash, welcome to DC Conversations. Uh, Tell us about your company.
Yeah, so thanks, Rasmi, for having me for this conversation. So basically, we are building a software solution to help companies in their entire sustainability journey. And again, when I say software solution, considering the current wave of AI, the entire thing is built on a very strong foundation of AI. From data collection to insights, everything, whatever comes out of the platform is essentially somewhere driven by the AI component, which we are using to make it entire sustainability management very seamless and auditable for our customers.
So, could you tell us about the complex sustainability challenges faced by middle to large enterprises across industries like manufacturing and finance?
Yeah, so I think see, sustainability is one topic where sort of challenges will differ the moment you go from one sector to other sector, size of company to other size of company. So let me just maybe take example of a manufacturing company, top maybe 100 by market cap. Uh, and again, depending on where you fall under the regulatory purview, that will also define the I would say complexity of entire sustainability management. So if I take example of a company, manufacturing company in top 100 by market cap, so essentially, the one major challenge will face with their own data management. So there is scope one and two emission. But at the same time, because now SEBI is also asking these top 250 companies to submit their supply chain data as well. So the complexity become very, very different when you have to go beyond your own organizational boundaries. Because till the point you are being asked to publish the data of your scope one, two, and some categories of scope three where you have better control on the data, you can still play, you can still sort of ensure that you are able to submit the data, you are able to sort of go through the audit process. But the moment someone is asking you to submit a data which is not under your control, then it become like less than, it become more complex problem because humans behavior will also drive whether you are getting the data on time or not, whether your suppliers are taking you seriously or not. And that is where it becomes very important how you're making your suppliers' life easier. It can't be like that you just pick a stick and go and say, no, you give me the data. How you're supporting your supplier in this journey become very, very critical. And that is where tech can help you significantly. Similarly, if I take example of, let's say, mid-sized company, maybe they are not mandated under any regulatory ask, but they are supplying to the big companies where they have to submit data to their suppliers. So we have a lot of customers in that segment also where their customers are asking them to submit the data. Now imagine they will get requests from 100 different customers because if they're a mid-sized company, they might be supplying to 100 different type of companies globally. All these companies would like to have the data in certain format, same scope 1 2 3 data but in different format, different units. So it become very big pain for a company responding to their customer in different formats, same data. So that is again where we bring the tech in picture, while we definitely help them with their own scope 1 and 2 assessment. But the how to respond to their customer, how to publish the reports the customers, their customers are asking, that is also where we bring the tech and make the entire process very seamless. So depending on where you are standing, which industry you are standing, the entire data management complexity changes. At the same time, when it comes to decarbonization, for an IT company, decarbonization is pretty much very straightforward. Like you, if you can go to renewable energy, you can be net zero. If you can sort of start buying offset for your travel and transport, you can be net zero, especially on scope one and two. But this can't happen in case of steel. There is no way they can simply one day they come and say, oh, I'm using renewable. That's why I'm net zero, because the kind of energy requirement is very, very different. So depending on again which sector you are operating, the complexity changes for the decarbonization journey as well. So again, so depending on multiple factors, I would say, the question is how we can bring the tech for each and every stakeholders. That's the challenge we have taken up. That is where we are building our solution to ensure that whoever is using our platform, they should be able to, in a very seamless manner, manage their sustainability journey for longer time.
So, also, could you tell us about your AI engine, Sustain Sense, and how does it
Yeah,
enhance the accuracy and efficiency of carbon emissions measurement and?
right. Yeah. No, thanks for asking this very specific question. See, sustained sense is I would say, effort of multiple people for almost 2 years. So it was not like on day zero we were saying that we are using AI. We started with that vision how we can bring tech closer to climate to accelerate the entire journey. But finding the right use case, ensuring that whatever we are doing on the AI front is making sense, adding significant value to our customer. So that is where sort of we started building the sustain sense. And again, if you look at the global, I would say globe as a single entity maybe.
Yeah.
So each and every country has their own regulations. There are millions of companies who are sort of publishing the data in some format, but everything is very, very fragmented. Because if I take a parallel example of financial reporting, right now, dollar will convert to a rupee in certain by certain factor. Euro will can convert to rupee by certain factor. But that is not the case when it comes to sustainability. The local emission factors will drive everything very differently. So the challenge we took, how we can bring each and every data points of sustainability into our system. That's the challenge which we started looking into, and then use that information to help our customers. So maybe a steel company in Europe doing something very innovative, not proprietary, but something very innovative available in the public domain. The question was how we can bring that idea to our customer, to our steel companies who are using our platform, and tell them this is what your counterpart in Europe is using. This is what you can do. And this is the outcome of this initiative. So that is how we started. So on the decarbonization journey, we are sort of, you can imagine during COVID, there were a lot of use of AI to sort of accelerate the vaccination vaccine discovery process. Similarly, here also, we are trying to bring that, like how we can bring all the initiatives, all the ideas, all the research happening across globe and help our customer to accelerate their sustainability journey. That is one part. Second part, when it comes to data, right? Until unless we get very, very high quality data, putting a 10 years plan become redundant. It might not work. Let's say I forget to add a complete emission source today, but tomorrow a regulator auditor is coming and saying, oh, this emission source is missing. And based on the, let's say, 10 emission sources, I put a plan for 10 years, but I miss the 11th emission source. Whatever I have done will go null and void. So it becomes very important to ensure, depending on the sector, depending on the country, company size, depending on the regulatory ask also. Like in India, SEBI, BRSR is asking for the water data also. They
Yeah.
are asking for the waste data also. There are a lot of regulators, they are not asking for these two data points. So as a very smart and intelligent system, how my system is coming and telling them that what are the data points you need to capture and how you need to capture is another thing where we help companies very, very deeply. So these are things kind of we ensure when it comes to data. Human errors are definitely part of the entire detection process. Data quality check is part of driven by our AI engine. So those things are obviously there, but at the same time, we also go beyond just the data points where you have control. We use the AI to find the data gaps. We use the AI to find the right solution which might fit in your company, in your budget, which can have high impact on your decarbonization journey. So all those things where we bring AI very, very closely. On top of that, one very specific, I would say, use case I want to talk, because I did mention about the supply chain at the start. See, when we started looking at the supply chain problem, so we realized that another data exchange platform is not going to help. As I mentioned, like as a mid-sized supplier supplying to 100 companies, they cannot keep exchanging the data. So they need a very smart system which can help them, whatever data they have, translate in a certain format which their customers are looking for, and then submit the data. So that is where we are using AI very, very heavily. So imagine there are two people speaking different language. So Apex customer looking for data in certain format. Suppliers already have the data in certain format. So essentially two people speaking different language. So how we can translate that in a language which both of them understand without sort of hitting their head on wall kind of thing. So that is where we use the sustain sense and ensure that the entire supply chain management can be very, very seamless and easy for both stakeholders, Apex customer and supplier. So this is where we are sort of using the the AI sustained sense as of now. But going forward, we are seeing a lot of huge cases around supply sustained sense, be it climate risk assessment, maturity assessment, and just risk assessment of the suppliers of the business. All those things we are looking into. Yeah.
Great. So, what are your expansion plans in regions like Europe and Middle East where demand for sustainability solutions is growing rapidly?
Yeah. So I think we have already sort of expanded to USA. We have customers there. We are talking to some really big companies in USA market. At the same time, we are actively sort of expanding to European market. We are
Hmm.
managing Middle East from India, but for European market, we are managing everything from USA. So when we started Spree, we started with a very clear vision: build in India, sell globally, kind of thing. And then that mindset is helping us a lot, because building a product for global market is very different than building product just for one market, be it
Yeah.
India or any market for that matter. So we kept that in mind from day zero. And right now we are sort of expanding the team, hiring people in Europe, USA, both for the sales purpose. Product development will continue to do in India. Research we will do in India, but we are going to sort of have a local team who understands the local market, understand the local regulation, help the product development team, help the sales team to sort of sell and build both. So that is the approach we have taken, and we are sort of on right path, I would say. We already have billion-dollar customers, top, I would say Fortune 500, 250 customers, companies as a customer for us. Yeah.
Great. Akash, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, no, thanks, Rasmi. I hope this is helpful. If you need any other information, happy to sort of jump in on a
Yes, yes.
follow-up call.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you.
Thanks.